Hello everyone, once again welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we will continue that same chapter, resources and development. So today's the topic is the classification of resources. First we'll do on the basis of origin. On the basis of origin, we will divide this into two parts. First one is biotic. So the resources which obtained from the biosphere. Second, which are having life. Okay, so biotic resources are resources which we can obtain from the biosphere and which are having life. Example, human being, flora and fauna, fisheries, livestock, etc. So now the term which we used here, that is biosphere. Biosphere means the part of Earth's surface and atmosphere inhabited by living things. It means we can say, suppose that this is water bodies, this is plain area, these are mountains. So जो भी लाइफ स्टॉक वाटर में रहता है, जो प्लेन एरिया में रहता है, जो माउंटेनियस एरिया में रहता है एंड जो अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेयर में रहता है, इस कंप्लीट सर्कल में अर्थ सरफेस एंड अर्थ एनवायरमेंट एंड अर्थ एटमॉस्फेयर, जो भी लाइफ स्टॉक्स रहते हैं, दिस ऑल आर इंक्लूड्स इन द बायोटिक. नाउ सेकंड इज abiotic. Abiotic resources, the resources which are composed of non-living things. Means non-living things. For example, rocks, metals.
Here you can see the examples of biotic and abiotic resources.
Second जो classification है, that is on the basis of exhaustibility. So on the basis of exhaustibility, first one is renewable resources. First one is renewable resources, the resources which can be renewed or reproduced by the physical or chemical process. Okay, suppose we are generating the electricity in windmills. Means अगर हम पवन ऊर्जा का यूज करते हुए इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट कर रहे हैं, so if once we generated the electricity from wind plants, इसका मतलब ये तो नहीं है कि वो विंड वहां से खत्म हो जाएगी. So it will be reproduced. It will be reproduced again. Again we can use it. So in this way, the resources which can be reproduced, renewed by the physical or any chemical process, these are called renewable resources. Second one is non-renewable resources. Second one is non-renewable resources, the resources which are exhausted with their use, which cannot be recycled. The resources which cannot be recycled. For example, we are taking the example of here coal. Same thing. If you are generating the electricity, but now with the help of coal. If once we generated the electricity with the help of coal, it is exhausted with its use. So, in this way we can say that on the basis of exhaustibility, we can divide these resources into two parts. First one is renewable resources, second one is non-renewable resources. Third जो classification है, that is on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, further we will divide this into four parts. And the first one is individual resources. Individual resources which are owned privately by individuals. The resources which are owned privately by individuals. Like suppose that I have a bike. This is my individual resources. This is my private property. So in the same way, suppose you have 10 acres land in your village. That is your private property. That is your individual resources. Understood? So, and the second one is community. The resources which are accessible to all the members of the community, like grazing grounds in the villages, burial grounds, village ponds. In the urban areas, there are public parks, picnic spots. These all the things are open for the community. And the third one is national resources. National resources which belong to the nation. The country has legal power to acquire even private property for the public good. So, जो हमारे रेलवेज हैं, जो हमारे हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, बस स्टैंड्स, रेलवे स्टेशंस, एयरपोर्ट्स, these all the things are belong to the nation. These are owned by nation. So ऐसी जो चीजें हैं वो हमारी नेशनल रिसोर्सेज में काउंट होंगी, जिनके ऊपर किसी प्राइवेट, किसी इंडिविजुअल, किसी स्पेसिफिक पर्सन का कोई ऑनरशिप नहीं है, किसी कम्युनिटी की कोई ऑनरशिप नहीं है. वहां पे कंप्लीट हमारा जो नेशन है, नेशन उसको यूज कर सकता है, नेशन उसको ऑन करता है. एंड द फोर्थ वन इज इंटरनेशनल रिसोर्सेज. International resources. Suppose that this is the boundary of India. Suppose that, so complete हमारी बाउंड्री के अंदर जो भी रिसोर्सेज हैं उनके ऊपर जो ऑनरशिप होगी वो हमारे इंडिया की होगी. So that is a national ownership. In the same way in ocean also. हमारी जो कोस्टल एरिया है, कोस्टल एरिया से 12 नॉटिकल माइल तक, NM 12 नॉटिकल माइल तक, दैट इज द नेशनल ओनरशिप. एंड 12 नॉटिकल माइल टू 200, 12 नॉटिकल माइल टू 1200 नॉटिकल माइल तक, दिस इज the exclusive economic zone. This part also we can use for our nation. So after that वहां पे किसी भी कंट्री या कोई स्पेसिफिक ऑनरशिप नहीं होती है. आफ्टर 200 nautical mile, if we are doing something there, if we are doing research there, if you want to get resources from there, we have to take permission from the international institutions like UNO. So you have to take permission from there if we are using the ocean resources after 200 nautical mile of the coastal areas. Fourth and the last, on the basis of the status of development. and the first one will be potential resources. We can understand this with the example of solar and wind energy in Rajasthan and Gujarat. See, there are three things. Whether we have the technology to use it, yes, we have technology. हमारे पास विंड एनर्जी, विंड प्लांट को लगाने के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी है. Second thing, whether we are willing to do it or not. Yes, we are willing. Third and last thing is whether we have developed or not. But so in potential resources, we have solar and wind energy in Rajasthan and Gujarat. We have technology to use it, and we are willing to develop it. But so far, these have not been developed properly. This is the thing. Okay. So now the second one is developed resources. Second one is developed resources. With the example of petroleum, you can understand. See, we have the technology to develop it. We have technology to develop it, and we are also willingness. We are also willing to develop it. And the third thing is whether we have developed or not. Yes, of course, we have developed these resources, because nowadays we are making so many things from the petroleum, like petrol, diesel, charcoal, or cosmetic things, Vaselines, like so many things we are making from the petroleum. So in developed resources, we developed, like petroleum we developed. We have technology to use it, we have willingness to use it, and the third one, we have developed it. For example, petroleum. And the third one is stock and reserve. Stock and reserve resources. इसको आप एक एग्जांपल की सहायता से you can understand easily. Water in dams. Whether we have technology or not, yes, we have technology. We can improve it. We can use it as resources. We can develop these resources. We have the technology. Whether we have willingness to use it, yeah, of course we have willingness. We want to develop it. We want to generate more and more electricity from the dams. And the third one is whether we have developed or not. Yeah, of course we have developed, but not at that level. Because we want to use it. We want to use it in the future. Because we want to use it in the future. So that's why we are not using the water in dams in that way. Okay, so these are the four bases. First one was on the basis of origin, second one was on the basis of exhaustibility, third one was on the basis of ownership, fourth one was on the basis of status of development. I hope you all have got it, what I tell you. So in next video we will discuss about sustainable development and Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit 1992 and Agenda 21.